So this is my week 8 TGS game against ogalbina. So really all the context that needs to be put into this game is that it's because it's week 8, we're right on the cusp of playoffs, and I really don't know if I need to win this to make playoffs, so I just kind of try-harded a little bit to make sure that I won, because I did not want to miss playoffs by any, miracle shit, so, yeah. Anyways, so, yeah, my matchup against OG Albino is really, really crazy good because honestly, low-key, I think my team is one of the best in the league right now. And unfortunately, no shade, but yeah, bro's team is a little bit bad, just a little bit, I mean, he's got some nice offensive pieces, but yeah, that's kind of like the most of what he's got going for himself on this draft. There's a lot of defensive flaws, and the offensive synergy could be a little bit better. It happens, yeah. Anyways, because of that, fortunately, my job is made particularly easy. I say I sweat this, but honestly, this was kind of given to me on a platter. I just have to go through the motions and play it really simple. And I say that because I have literally a hard counter to all of his offensive threats, and all of my offensive threats, literally nearly every single one of my Pokemon just pick whenever they come in. I mean, obviously this Forest set and this G-King set, not so much. Actually, that's not even true. The G-King set, I promise you, Copperajah never comes to this game. And without that, Mono Sludge Bomb, low-key clams into this team as well. He's got Sandy Shocks, but, I can chili reception on that, and, another mon is getting a kill on Sandy Shocks. So, like I've said, this game is, really, really, really free for me. But, like I said, also, I don't want to risk losing in case of some shock horror playoff myths, blah. Anyways, whatever. So, yeah, yeah. So, I gotta sweat this a bit to make sure I don't lose, but also it's not that hard to sweat because the matchup comes really freely for my team. So, enough yapping about that shit. So, yeah, we got the Spit FG King. Spit FG King is my Primarina counter. He's got no grounded T-Spike, Soka, so no grounded poison, yeah. So T-Spikes, his only way of keeping T-Spikes off is Komala, which could also come for Spectria, which I didn't take because Spectria was good, but it wasn't as good as some other things that also covered for some of his threats. It's really good offensively, but it lacked the defensive utility that I was looking for that slot that it would have filled. Instead I took Baxcalibur, and I'll explain why once I get to that. So yeah, Spidef Citrus is going to be nice on this G-King. It's going to allow me to soak Specs hits from Primarina, and it's going to afford me opportunities to put up T-Spikes. The chili reception is quite nice against Torkoal, and Spidef is going to help cover for Blaziken and Raging Bolt as a pivot in case the Blaziken is special or mixed. So yeah, this G-King is quite nice. Next we got Landorus. Spidef Landorus is really good here because it helps cover once again for mixed Blaziken and Raging Bolt specifically. I really wanted a nice Raging Bolt counter. This is not that. It's a part of a multi-mon core that I have to counter the Raging Bolt specifically, but yeah, having a ground immunity, not a ground immunity, yeah, but I guess it is that, but having an electric immunity specifically is quite nice for Raging Bolt. And yeah, this mon is really tanky. His team is quite ground weak, so it's going to get a lot of value when it comes in offensively. Stone Edge to cover for flying shit on the Raging Bolt, Break for screens on Sandy Shocks, which this mon also counters, and then U-turn for pivoting, which is also my coverage move for Rillaboom. So yeah, Terra Fairy Zerud with Grassy Seed, Spidef is really, really good here. He's got no fighting switch-ins, so Dream Punch after an SD is going to run through his team. What Dream Punch doesn't hit, Terra Blast will hit. So yeah, this is perfect coverage basically. And with Max Spidef and Grassy Seed, I'm going to be unkillable. And yeah, this is also my Dragon check because he's got some really scary Dragon types, and if I don't run Fairy on my Zerud, then they're going to run Rampant into my team, and I can't allow that. So here we go, Fairy Zerud once again. So pretty simple though, and really, really good here. So yeah, and speed is just gonna cover things like Raging Bolt, I think, and Adamant Rillaboom. It might be for Jolly Blaziken, to be honest, which is yeah, I don't remember exactly. It's been a little while, but yeah, good Zerud set. Anyways, Bandit Baxcalibur. Yeah, like I said, I wanted this over Spectria, and that's because I thought that Banded Baxcalibur was about as good as Spectre was offensively, maybe a little bit worse, but it's actually not a big deal because it makes up for that easily with its defensive profile here, which sounds weird, but notably it's resist to both of his priority guys, which I like having a Revenger to both of those. That's quite reliable, and Banded Baxcalibur is going to do that for me. It also offers Ice Shard, which is really good into like any HO build. Like Choice Band Ice Shard is going to do a chunk to even Blaziken, so yeah, this guy's always useful. And the cool thing here is, like I said, Copperager is like unbringable into my team. And even if he brought it, I have high horsepower, but if he doesn't bring it, I have Double Edge, and Double Edge is going to occur his entire roster. So yeah, but Baxcalibur is like claiming a kill every time it comes in. Cool Pokemon. Max Fizdef, Assault Vest Taurus, Paldea. I need it to be AV to take on Special Blaziken. There are like White Herb or Life Orb sets that like spam Overheat or Flamethrower into like Solar Beam type beats. So yeah, Taurus accounts for all of that. And with Max Fizdef, it's still going to check physical variants. And yeah, it's also nice to mid-ground some other stuff. His team is fighting weak, so Body Press plus Wild Charge for the Primarina. Aqua Jet, useful priority. Yeah, pretty simple, very effective. And last but not least, we got this Fortress, which is going to be like my initial switch into things like Roaring Moon and Rillaboom. Helmet is going to punish their pivoting. I can get up Spikes, which are quite good into his team, assuming he doesn't spin them. And I can also spin in case he goes for some sort of hazard stacking angle. And Mono Body Press is like really good offensively. So this Fortress isn't even that passive. It's going to do decent chip to most of his team. And I can Volt Switch in a pinch if I can't afford to hard switch in whatever my check is to a certain Pokemon. So yeah, that's the team. I got counters to like all of his guys. He doesn't have switch-ins to most of my guys. It's really easy. Yeah. So yeah, let's jump into what he took, and then we'll go into the game itself. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, he made some interesting decisions. The Torkoal bench is understandable. Torkoal is really, really difficult to force into my G-King, and it's really abusable by a lot of my team. But unfortunately, it means that he's not going to have Sun, which is really good for him offensively as well, if we were able to keep it up. What else is notable? No Rillaboom. No Rillaboom was kind of sad because it meant my Zarude set was way worse, but at the same time, low-key, like, Rillaboom is one of, like, 2 or 3 viable physical attackers, so depending on what his Blaziken and Roaring Moon sets are, my Zarude might not even care, and it might still just, like, 6-0 him. Like, if it's not physical Blaziken, it's not going to kill my Zarude, and if it's not, like, I don't know, honestly, like, Roaring Moon is low-key, like, still walled by my Zarude, so it's fine. My Zarude is just really fat, so yeah. As for leads, yeah, I kind of assume that Baxcalibur is claiming here because yeah, it looks really good, and I also thought that he would probably lead Sandy Shocks. If he doesn't lead Sandy Shocks, he's gonna lead like a U-turn guy, or like maybe a Blaziken. If he leads Blaziken, I'm faster, so I can False Protect on a U-turn guy. I can pivot into my Fortress, get some free helmet chip, and I can just get a kill on Sandy Shocks, which I really thought was going to lead. So yeah, it felt like a good way to try to take initiative, and I had decent counterplay if he gets me on this lead. Like, I have a guaranteed counter to Primarina as well, and G-King if he leads that for some reason. So yeah, I felt Bax was quite safe. Speaking of Primarina, actually, that was the other thing. Because he benched Rillaboom, his counterplay to my to Pokemon such as Landorus, Baxcalibur, well, not Bax, but like, yeah, Landorus and Taurus specifically, is really limited to Primarina and Raging Bolt. I assumed that he wouldn't depend on his Raging Bolt defensively, so it like Loki screams that he's Max Fizdef on his Primarina, which I kind of picked up on initially as well. And leading Bax to cripple the Primarina in that case would be really nice, because Bax can run through it, and then all my other guys are just going to pick off all of his offensive threats. Anyways, he leads Sandy Shocks, and we trade Sandy Shocks for hazards. He gets a bit of chip from Double Edge, but it's fine. Out comes Primarina. So from here on out, I'm looking to reposition to get a spin-off with my Fortress. It's kind of difficult to get that spin-off. I'm going to go Fari here because it's my Roaring Moon switch in, but I was 100% sure he's going to U-turn and bring in like a Blaziken or a Raging Bolt, or a Primarina if it was offensive. But anywho, my goal is to either somehow sack a Pokemon and get spin off on Roaring Moon or bring in my Fari on a Komala at some point to get that spin off. The way that I'll get, well, okay, you'll see the way that I get off my spin on Komala because it comes into play. But yeah, it's typically not easy to force that Pokemon in without Spectria, which is what it comes for in this matchup. But I have some cheeky ways of forcing it in. Anyways, Blaziken comes in as I said, and I'm going to go into my counter. Here I'm going to make a double because, like I mentioned earlier, Primarina is the kind of telegraph switching to Taurus because he doesn't really have many other options. And because of that, I'm able to make a really easy double into my G-King, who also mid-ground special Blaziken, so I felt relatively low risk. And here I'm going to click T-Spike. So T-Spike, this was my idea, so if he doesn't go Komala on T-Spike, it's going to stay up, and T-Spike is going to be decent compensation for him having double hazards up on my side. And if he does go Komala, then I can just trade spins with him, so yeah. And trading spins with him is like low-key better for me, to be honest. I actually think he shouldn't have done this because these hazards were really the only thing allowing him to make meaningful progress. And you're going to see that now that they're gone, the game is kind of really free for me. So here I'm going to go G-King now that I know that he's mixed Blaziken. I'm going to make the double into Taurus because I'm not sure if he's Flare Blitz, and he's also shown that Komala is his initial switch-in. Taurus also covers for Roaring Moon if he decided to make that play as well. And I'm going to make the double into G-King again because it's a Komala, it's not that threatening, and the Primarina is really telegraphed. And here he's going to go Komala again. Now that hazards aren't up, I can just Chilly Reception to Baxcalibur, and Bax is going to get another kill. And yeah, like I said, like this game is playing itself for me. Bax is like really done its job, to be honest. It's insane. I'm going to preserve it because Ice Shard is still really quite useful. And go into Fortress to get more chip on an obvious U-turn. And yeah, here I'm going to go Zarude instead of Landorus because I saw he was Terra Dragon at the beginning of the game, which means that my Zarude is a pretty fantastic hard counter. He's going to get the para, which means that my Zarude is not going to sweep. I should note that we've seen Special Blaziken and what looks to be a Scarf Roaring Moon. It doesn't have to be Scarf, but it's not banded damage with that U-turn on my Fari, which means that it's most likely Scarf. And even if it's not Scarf, it's not boosting items, so it's not killing my Zarude. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's E-Bout, but I don't think E-Bout is really enough. I can just kill him back, and I would normally be faster than everything else and be fine. But it's fine. Zarude had a job. It was to counter Raging Bolt. I'm not losing this game now that it's parried anyways, so I'm not like losing sleep over that as a result. G-King comes in. I'm going to make the double again. Primarina is dead this time, so not only do I make the Scout for Flare Blitz, I cover the Komala, I cover the Roaring Moon, but I also get a free kill now. Yay! I mean, yeah, like I said, this game is like really playing itself. I'm gonna go Landorus to preserve that differential. I mean, he's like mixed, which means that I have AV for his Overheat and a Resist for his Close Combat. It's a really easy switch to make. And like I said, the Roaring Moon really telegraphs Scarf to me. So I'm going to scout what he locks into by going to Taurus. Max Fizdef is crazy. And then, yeah, out into Zarude on the Outrage. And we're going to find out here that he definitely is he's Outrage, he's Scarfed, yes. Zarude's going to get another kill. I do enjoy feeding Zarude kills, it's quite nice. In spite of the para, it manages to get 2. Yeah. I was on a little bit of a side quest this game. I should also mention I would have liked to have gotten Zarude at least 3 kills, so unfortunately I missed out on that. My Zarude, unfortunately, because I missed out on that 3rd kill, only has 19 kills. Oh, it's so sad. I wanted to get him to 20, but it's fine. Really good season. Looking forward to playoffs. My round 1 opponent is Berger, and yeah, this was a pretty satisfying game. I mean, I say that it was like really easy to play. Games like these come quite naturally because I mean, like all of my switches just are really easy to find. I have like counterplay to all of his guys. It's just like I don't have to try to make my offense work. It's just like, yeah, I feel bad for bro. It happens. It's like that. You know, he's had a tough season, poor ogalbina, but yeah, I wasn't sure if I needed this to make playoffs or not, so I figured I better play it safe than sorry. So yeah. GG's. And yeah, like I said, I play burger in playoffs for round one, so look forward to that. All right, see ya.